Hello all and welcome in. If you don't know me or haven't met me before, I am Angelica Carlisle with Realty One Group, a licensed realtor here in Nevada. And if you follow me on any of my socials, you know that I am your favorite Las Vegas homegirl. And I am here today with my good friend and licensed lender, Shamir Gessinger. Did I say that last name right?
Guy singer, almost.
Gessinger, okay.
Yes, he does.
Yes, and we are here today to just, as you can see, a home buyer webinar to get you acquainted, comfortable, and informed about the entire process of buying a home. And I'll just let Shamir introduce himself as well.
Yeah, my name is Shamir, local here, and been in the business for about 5 years now. So just here to help everybody achieve that home ownership.
Nice, nice. Okay, so let's just jump right into it because we don't want to take up too much time, and we just want to get it going. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm based in Las Vegas, of course, but I can help you all around Nevada, if possible, from Pahrump to Mesquite. That's as far as I will go. If anything other than that, I will refer to the local agent in that city. I'm not from Las Vegas, though. I was born and raised in Southern Illinois in a little quiet town called O'Fallon, not Chicago. It's so far away from that. And outside of helping individuals become homeowners, I enjoy traveling, reading, and crafting. I have like probably a collection of 100 books. I've been to almost 45 out of the 50 states in about 2 continents. So I'm still trying to work on the other ones. And that's a little bit about me and about my career. 2015, my children's grandmother introduced me to real estate as she has many investment properties in Los Angeles. In 2020, I graduated with my degree in business from the College of Southern Nevada. And then in 2021, I gained my real estate license. In 2022, I started with Realty One Group. Now, a little bit about Realty One Group. We service Las Vegas with offices worldwide. So we have it in every continent, every country. We are based all over. We were established 2005, and the motto that I love and that attracted me to them is opening doors across the globe, one home, one dream, and one life at a time. So it's not going to be a race, but one person. As long as we help one, we help all. And let's get you acquainted with why you should buy and the benefits of home ownership. And Shamir can just piggyback off of that as well. So appreciation, of course, home values have a well-documented history of going up over time. The increase becomes equity and you can benefit from it when you refinance or sell your home. So essentially it is a business. And then equity, renting has often been compared to paying 100% interest because you're paying someone else's mortgage. But when you own a home and the mortgage is in place, a portion of your payment goes towards the principal balance, which again, Shamir would get more in detail. And then it builds your equity and acts as a savings account. Roots, so when you buy a home, you are likely to stay in the home 4 times longer than you would in a rental. So you would definitely get the opportunity to set down roots in your neighborhood, in your community. And education research shows that children of homeowners earn higher test scores and graduate at a higher percentage than those of renters because, again, you're not faced with those trying times of renting a home and you never know what the owner of that home is wanting to do with their property. They could sell it, they could move back in it, and then leaving you relocating or changing the relocation of your children, which causes that instability. So definitely buying a home sets forth that generational wealth and stability for educational goals. Happiness, of course, owning something is just unmatched. So owning a home instead of renting, it's yours. You can do what you please with it. You don't have to worry about any renter safe DIYs that you want to do. If you mess up a wall, you can fix the wall, and you can get a dog, you can plant a tree, you can do whatever you want because it's yours, just long as you get it approved with HOA. So, and then of course those tax savings, the government rewards homeowners by providing excellent tax benefits. The interest paid on your mortgage and other home-related expenses can generally be deducted from your income, so that is always a good benefit. So let's get into this quick and easy roadmap to home ownership. Again, it's a simple process and an easy process. just a little bit complex with a lot of parts and pieces to it. But as you can see, it is a very simple and clear road to home ownership. So of course, you already did the first 2 to 3 steps is meeting with a real estate professional as myself. And the one thing about buyers, and it is a little bit shaky now just due to a new settlement, but um, traditionally, as a buyer, you do not have to worry about compensating your buyer's agent, which leaves a little bit more money in your pocket. But again, things have changed. So I would just say to prepare if needed to pay some towards your buyer commissions. But in most cases, the seller actually takes care of our commission, meaning that we are just a partner with you through this journey and not attached to any sellers or worried about the commission that you're going to pay us. Getting pre-approved, like I said, you're already at step 3 because Shamir is here, and you would need, and again, he will get into details, usually W-2s, bank statements, and know what you can afford, which he will provide that information. Then once you get that pre-approval, it's the fun part of the whole entire process is searching for a home. So as far as searching for a home, we have many ways, open houses, you know, my connections with partners in my firm and my real estate community. And then what we also do is a little advanced search. So that's where I actually give set up an automatic home search for you. I put in the criteria, what you can afford, your budget, and all the features that you would like in a home, narrowing it down to the finest point of what you want in your home, and just taking consideration what you can afford. And I just make sure that you're getting what you want and also what you need. So then after that, you start to choose homes to your liking. We attend home showings, and once you fall in love, we make an offer. And then in the offer, that's when I come into play, making sure that I'm negotiating great terms for you according to the market and where it's at. And then with that, we go under contract. So once both sides agree, meaning you and the seller and the buyer agree to each terms in the price as in what you want as far as credits, incentives, and things like that, we go under contract. Again, this is where the work comes in. The fun part is getting the house, but this is where the work comes in. So when we go under contract, we have some things called buyer's due diligence, deadlines, loan appraisals, things like that. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So this is where you get your inspections done to make sure that there are no hidden defects that the seller didn't disclose. And then after that, again, you negotiate back and forth, which is my job, to make sure that you're getting the needed repairs done or requesting credits for those repairs. And then we get the home appraised. That just gives the value of the home and making sure you're coming at listing or over, meaning that you're walking into equity when you get your home. And then just the final details of, like I said, due diligence, appraisal, and then reviewing all the terms with your lender, Shamir, here, and making sure all your loan documents are complete and you have a clear understanding of all the costs and that is involved with your home purchase. And then preparing for closing. Again, that's just finalizing the loan, reviewing the many, 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 many many documents that are needed in this process. And I am not exaggerating. I'm just there are many documents in this process that may be needed, and it is sometimes redundant, but the quicker you respond, the quicker you give what is needed, the quicker the process will be. Again, simple, yet a little bit complex with the pieces. So, and then closing. This is another fun part. This is just where you come and get ready to sign again, many documents. You want to work that hand out and get ready to sign and get your home. And now let's get into, are you ready to buy? So you know the steps, you know how to get there, but are you ready? So let's see, do you have a steady income? Usually what I tell my potential buyers, like, hey, have you been working at the same job for a couple years or at least 1 year? And have you paid your rent on time for the past 2 to 5 years? So that will definitely give you an potential as a buyer, because you have already proven to yourself that, you know what, I can be responsible. I can pay rent on time. I can keep a steady income and things like that. So low to medium debt. So again, Shamir will get into this because this is his field, but everyone should know this is calculating your debt to income ratio. So that is taking your debt and dividing it by your income, where you get a percent. And from my research, they told me that a good DTI is less than 43%. And Shamir, you could just piggyback off that. What is a good DTI ratio when it comes to
Yeah, so 43 and below is definitely good. General rule, 45 is kind of that area. You can go higher, but there's a lot of things that we don't account for. So you want to leave yourself some space so you're not paying extra over your budget. So
Nice, nice. And we always want to make sure that you're comfortable with your payments and things like that, that you're not incurring too much debt that will lead you into foreclosure because that does happen when with anything, credit cards or anything. It's just like that. If you go over budget, you might be putting yourself in a financial strain. And then cash for down payment and closing. I cannot stress this enough to my buyers because they think that their down payment, if there is one, is just all that is needed to provide. There are many pieces that you have to prepare for, not only down payment, earnest money, which is included in down payment, but also closing costs, which is separate from your down payment. And again, Shamir will get into that. 2 months of pay stub and bank statements, and 2 years again with the same company or within the same industry. Now, getting approved, it's again just some simple steps. Choosing a lender, you already have one here. Filling out the loan application, which is provided at the end if you want to just go ahead and just it's risk free. And I believe that Shamir does do a soft pull, so you don't get any hard inquiries on your credit. And then you just need these approval documents, again, pay stubs, bank statements, tax return, proof of income, and a 580 plus credit score. Again, it's going to be a little redundant, but Shamir is going to get into more funny details of the lending experience and how everything works and about his journey and his career. So let's get to know Shamir.
yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, my name is Shamir. I started off, I actually was an athlete. I played college football. That's kind of been my whole life pretty much. Around like that COVID time, kind of shut down a lot of opportunities for me. So I was deciding what I want to do. I'm going to get into real estate. So I started in the mortgage industry, loved it, been doing it ever since. And my biggest thing is just helping people achieve home ownership because I think it's a lot of things out there that people may think about the process, or a lot of people that think they can't get into a home when they actually can. So that's one of my biggest things is being able to guide those people through that process. So
Awesome.
and then just a little bit about my company. I work for Loan Factory. We're actually one of the largest brokerages in the country. As you can see here, we close multiple billions in loans. We're licensed in almost every state. Biggest thing here, if you look at the 5-star reviews, that's just just show you, kind of service that we provide. Another thing to put with that is because we're one of the largest brokers, we work with, I think now we have over 200 lenders that we work with. So the benefit to you is these people compete for our business. So in turn, they give us a lot of deals, a lot of promotions, things like that to earn our business. So we can then pass those savings on to you, the buyer, whether it's, interest rates, whatever promotions lenders may be running at the time. So and then kind of just, piggybacking off Jennifer earlier, many benefits to home ownership. Um, I think the biggest thing is using home ownership to set yourself up for your future. Once you become a homeowner, there's so many different things that you can do. And so many, I'll get clients, you buy a home, you build equity in the home, say you run into an issue down the line, you need to pay off some debts, whatever it may be, you can utilize that equity to do that. Say maybe you want to send your kids off to college, down the line, you can use your equity to do that. Obviously invest, turning homes into investments. There's just so many things that you can do when you're a homeowner that I think is best to sit back and think about your goals, what you want long term, and you can use your home as a pawn, I guess, to make those plays. So yeah, homeownership is huge. And then just really quick, getting into what's kind of expected or needed. Not too crazy, really just a picture of your ID, 2 months bank statements, and then your income documents. If you're a W-2 employee, all you need literally is your last 2 years of W-2s and your 30 days pay stubs, and that's it. If you're a business owner, it does get a little more complicated. We will need, tax returns, bank statements, business bank statements, things like that, so that we can, calculate all those different things. Or if you're a 1099 worker, uh, it could be a little difficult as well because you will need 2 years. When you're W-2, we have a little bit of wiggle room there. We can do 6 months, 12 months, etc. So yeah, those are some of the documents. Quick little fact that a lot of people don't know: if you're coming out of college and you're going into your industry, say you're in medical or something like that, you can actually use your time in school as part of your work history. So you can go to school, get your degree, whatever, going straight into your job and be able to buy the home. So
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then these are just a couple programs I'll go over really quick. This one is huge. The biggest thing or biggest issue that a lot of people are facing right now, especially as first-time buyers, is affordability. So this program here is a 2-1 buy down that's actually paid for by us. And the best thing about it is there's no like hit to the rate or anything like that. So it's priced out just as a normal purchase. And so kind of how this works is your first year, you're 2% lower than your base rate. So for example, let's say your base rate is like 6%. Your first year, your mortgage is going to be based on a 4% rate, and then the following year 5%, and then you'll go back to that base rate after that. And I think that's a good strategy to utilize in this current market because rates are going to go down eventually, and so it's a matter of when. But that gives you a 2-year buffer to utilize those lower rates, and then you can refinance after just 6 months. So say you get into the home and you're in there for a year, which is 4%. Rates go down that second year, you can refinance into the lower rates. And the other good thing about this program is it's prepaid. It's all prepaid by us. So any of that extra money actually goes towards your principal. So it's a win-win for you regardless. A couple things to qualify for this: you do need to be at a minimum 620 score, and you're capped at 350 on your loan amount. So and then this is a conventional loan as well, which is another plus because then you build equity. You don't have to worry about refining to a conventional. You're already there. You get rid of mortgage insurance, et cetera, et cetera. So
Nice. And then while we're talking about rate breaks and interest rate and things like that, I do want you to explain the common misconception of what we hear all the time is, I'm waiting for interest rates to go down.
Yeah. So
Go down.
I just understand that 2020 to like 2022, then 2022, that was like a unicorn. So those 2% and 3% rates are not normal. Those are like kind of those once in a lifetime things. I know it sucks, trust me, I know, but those are not normal. And so if you think about what was going on in the world for that to happen, we were literally like shut down and everybody thought it was over for it. So we have to kind of understand that 4 or 5%, those are considered like technically low rates in a normal environment. So just kind of keep that in mind. I know a lot of people want that to happen, and it maybe could in the future, but that's not a normal environment.
And then what does that do for the affordability of like what they can afford? Doesn't that change it a little bit when the interest rates start to change?
Yeah. So and even just a 1% change in your rate, makes a huge difference, especially once you start getting into the higher loan amounts. When you're in the lower loan amounts, it doesn't really have that much of a difference. But obviously homes are more expensive, so it definitely makes a big difference there. So
Yeah, so just get that out of your head of
yeah. Okay, and another cool program. This is actually one of my favorites that we have right now. So it's called a 1+. So how this works is you are coming in, you're purchasing a home with just 1% down. And then we give you another 2% down payment given as a grant. So that means you don't have to pay it back, anything. The rates on this are the same. This is a conventional loan. So just same as a regular loan, no hitch, anything like that. Kind of the same requirements as the previous program, 620 score. You're capped at 350 for your loan amount. You can, if you want to, if you find something over, you actually can contribute to more down if you would like. Your income does have to be at 80% or below the area median income. So I'm not sure if that is for Clark, but we can talk about those numbers. So yeah, really good program. Like I said, it's a conventional loan, so you have those benefits to build that equity up, refinance, and don't have to worry about any of that stuff with the mortgage insurance. So
It's nice.
and then another thing, we talk about affordability and just being able to help when we can. So through April, I want to be able to give back to everybody here and give a credit for the appraisal. How this will work, you'll see a credit at your closing cost. So just a little something to help out.
That's always nice. We love a good discount, essentially.
And then the last thing, just down payment assistance. This is a big thing too. We talk about affordability and being able to come with down payments. Homes are a little more expensive, so that means more money that you have to come with. And so to be able to take care of that is huge. Our down payment assistance programs are pretty lenient. You see here, we can go down to a 580 score. There's no income limits. You don't even need to be a first time buyer for most of these programs. So that's another, big thing if you previously bought in the past. Another cool thing is there are some programs, your credit does need to be a little bit higher, but you can actually get 1.5% as well that goes towards your closing costs. So, I mean, being able to get your down payment covered and most of your closing costs that's huge.
Yes, that's very huge.
Especially in
And
this
home
market.
is zero down, as you can
Yeah,
see.
literally.
Zero down. That's amazing. And plus with the 580 minimum credit score, that's about the average of where people are right now.
Yep. And that is all. Thank you. Follow me on these social medias. Just my name, Shamir Guy Singer. So
Yes, and then there's his link if you're watching this and you just want to see what can happen, because when you do apply, the thing is that Shamir can give you that financial home buying plan for you. If you're not ready to buy right now, he'll just make sure to connect you with the right credit repair specialist, let you know what you have to fix on your credit and all that's needed to get you to the point of pre-approval.
and real quick, I know Angelica mentioned too, I do a soft pull. I know that's a big thing for people. So kind of part of that, like putting together a plan. So we'll pull credit, and even if it's not what it wants to be, let's put together a plan. And so even if you're not ready now, you'll be ready in the future. So
Nice. Okay, and like I said, after you are finished working with Shamir and get that pre-approval in hand, again, home search. Location. That is why it's the first thing on the list. Location is everything. Location can do with the equity that your home would build, the roots you put down, and things like that. So that's why I always emphasize location first. To my clients, price, of course, you don't want to go over what you can afford or what you're comfortable paying monthly. Square footage, bedrooms, baths, style, features, all that good stuff. And this is a general map that I do provide my clients when we're searching for anything from rentals to home to buy. And this just gets you acquainted with all the zip codes, the areas where they are. If you're new to Nevada or Las Vegas, you can see the areas of interest and things like that. Search tools, again, I'll set you up for an agent search. That's where you get automatic emails of homes that fit your criteria. And then you can do your own search when we're going to open houses, model homes for new builds, friends, for sale by owners, websites, yard signs, all those things can equate to you in your search for a home. High-tech tools, like again, that's that automatic search that I'm going to set you up on. And when we go through these homes, I like to start with 3 to 5 of your top picks just from the search or what you've seen via open houses or anything like that. And we want to get into a fine, detailed house hunting checklist. This just makes sure that because you might see multiple houses, or I'm hoping you're the client that just falls in love with the first couple, or if not, this will keep you more organizing on your whys and why nots of the homes that you're going to look at. So I do provide this for all showings, and I take notes while you walk around, so you don't have anything to worry about. You just focus on looking for those things that you need first, and then your wants second. And then making an offer, again, this is when you fall in love with a home, you understand your wants and the seller wants, and that earnest money. So the earnest money is usually anywhere from 1 to 3% of the purchase price. And what that is showing your commitment to making the offer, your commitment to potentially buying the home. Earnest money is protected during due diligence and things like that, which we'll get in detail when you start that process. And that's just where the seller is not able to take or entertain any more offers. So then the down payment, financed amount, and again, those important dates of buyer due diligence, loan appraisal, if it's an HOA, getting your resale package, loan approval and things like that. Inclusions in the home, so you just want to make sure you don't have any extra like detached like sheds, refrigerators, washer and dryers. You just want to make sure everything that's in the home or outside of the home on the property during the time of the showing or when you make an offer is either included or not included with the home. And then once your offer is accepted, we get a counter offer or it's declined. So that's usually what happens in the offer stage. It'll be one of those 3 things. And then, like I said, that's where my part comes in with negotiating and understanding terms and agreements of the contract. So once your offer is accepted, it's time to open escrow. And then what is escrow? So escrow is a legal arrangement in which a third party temporarily holds the money or property until the particular condition has been met, such as fulfillment of a purchase agreement. So how does it work? In real estate transactions, it's used to protect both the buyer and the seller. So when you give that earnest money. The title company, which you'll see next, is the person who holds that. So again, it's a third party with no interest in the buyer or no interest in the seller, and it just protects those funds. So say for instance, it's not going directly to the seller when you give your earnest money, and then they could potentially just walk away. So it's just a protection for both sides, and throughout the term of the mortgage, an escrow account will hold funds for taxes and homeowners insurance. Now, reasons for escrow, like I said, to hold earnest money while you're in escrow, and to handle and disperse the funds until all conditions are met and the escrow is closed. That's when you go and sign your closing documents. So when your offer is accepted, again, you give earnest money to the title company. Inspection and repairs. That's when we get an inspection from a licensed home inspector, and he goes over any hidden defects within the home that needs immediate attention or repair in the future. And this is where, again, I come in with my skills of negotiation to make sure that you're getting the repairs that you want or that you want to request done. And then the seller either comes back and says yes, or he will give you credits. They will give you credits towards your closing costs. So that's either way how it can work. Either they're going to complete the repairs before the close of escrow or give credit the close of escrow. That's usually, or they'll just say no, you handle it yourself. And then appraisal. I'll let Shamir talk about how appraisal affects the loan and things like that.
Yeah, so appraisal is a very important part. Pretty much somebody goes, it's actually another mutual third party. They go out, inspect the home. They make sure everything is okay with the home, all the like electrical, plumbing, things like that. And then, they give the value. Now, we want to make sure that obviously the home comes in that value, or best case scenario comes in over value, in which that scenario you're actually walking in with instant equity, which is huge. So kind of what happened if it doesn't come in that value, then that's kind of back to Angelica. She will go and renegotiate the price and everything, or see whatever they're willing to do. But yeah, really, really important part of the process here.
And then that's why I want to piggyback off too, because when those interest rates go down, what is the usually typical thing that we see with those appraisals and people paying over the appraisal amount?
Yeah, so in that market, it gets tough because the homes are just people are paying. I mean, during that COVID time, people was paying like $100,000 over the asking price. So that has an effect on the home price because they take that into account when they're determining the value of your home, and so it's going to increase the home price, obviously. So it's one of those situations where it can make things more expensive. So that's kind of why we preach like now's a good time to get in before it gets crazy again.
Yes, because as buyers, especially first-time home buyers, most of us don't have that extra cash flow. Let's for some big-time investor, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it was tough for a lot of first-time buyers because of that. It was just you got to have that bankroll pretty much to compete. So.
Yes, the sharks were in the water. Home insurance, this is just like renter insurance. When something goes awry within your home, you're covered for certain repairs and warranties. So essentially, you have nothing to worry about because just like most people out there, and even myself, like I'm just a girl. So home repairs could be a little difficult when things go awry, floodings or mishaps within the home. That's where home insurance and warranties come in. So finalizing the mortgage details. This is again those many documents come into play, and making sure that you're getting them at an adequate time, responding, and just making sure you're giving Shamir and his processors and underwriter all the things and documents that they need to just finalize your mortgage details. And then a final walkthrough. So this usually happens between 2 and 3 days before you go and close on your home at the title company and signing. And we just want to make sure that everything that was negotiated in your purchase agreement is all there. The house is still there. It's still in the same condition. The needed repairs were done if it was in the purchase agreement and the seller agreed to do those repairs. Make sure those things are done, and just make sure that everything is just the way it's supposed to be in the home. And anything that is still left over or anything during that time of the walkthrough is yours. And then the closing cost breakdown. So again, closing costs and down payment are two different things. And I just want, because this is a little bit on Shamir's side, so I do want him to give you a clear understanding, the difference between that down payment and that closing cost.
Yeah. So the down payment is just to, secure the property. Closing costs are going to make up everything else. Your title fees, you do have to pay interest, your credit report fees, but I don't charge any of those. And so what will happen is once you go under contract, you'll get a breakdown of all these fees. Or estimates at least, and I actually go over those with you and walk through each one, so that obviously what these are and what's going on, and then if you have any questions about those fees. So yeah,
and as you can see, In my buyer packet, I do provide this like little, again, this is a sample. This is not probably what exactly I'm going to pay or things like that, but it just lays out how those fees are added, what they are, what you're paying for, and things like that. So again, just get acquainted and understanding with the fact that your down payment may not be even if you come with no down payment, you might have some closing costs to take care of. And then closing day, oh my God, we finally made it. See how quick that was? We're gonna so I will accompany you to your closing. This is when you meet with a title company or a public notary to make sure that you understand all of your closing paperwork, that it matches, the numbers that Shamir gave, and your purchase contract, your mortgage payment, all those things. So bring your identification. Everyone who is purchasing the property must be present. If not possible, let us know in advance, and you'll need to bring a certified check or wire the down payment and closing costs. And any questions or concerns, you can text me, email me, and check out my website and all my socials at homegirlvegas.com. And then thank you again, Shamir, for being here with us. And you could just close out with any last things that you want to say or give advice to people going forward.
Yeah, I would just say if purchasing has been something you've been thinking of or been interested in, I'll say it's not as scary as you may think or may seem. Me and Angelica are here to walk you through each step of the process. We're here to answer any questions you may have. And just, like I said, I'm a huge planner, so sitting back and just thinking of all the pros and cons and all the benefits you'll have, I think will definitely be worth it in the end. So that's it.
Yes, and I just want to close out with saying that this is only the first, definitely not the last. This is just the beginning, and we want to just keep informing you and getting you comfortable with the process of home buyership and all of the options that we have for you when you're making that big step and going through the process. Our next video will entail, as me and him are both learning the process, on how we can buy, or you guys can buy those people and families out there that are under Section 8 or getting housing vouchers to rent. You can use those housing vouchers to buy a home. So in our next video, like I said, me and him want to educate and get all the details of that so we can bring the information to you, because I know that there are many people that have housing vouchers and Section 8 housing that they utilize for rent. Those same vouchers can be utilized for you to buy a home and become a homeowner. So again, me and Shamir are going to get just well acquainted so we can inform you on those steps and how you can do that. And I'm so excited, and I'm ready to begin this year off helping as many people. Again, one door, one life, one home at a time. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and make sure that you follow me and Shamir so that you can get updates when we are going to be posting or doing a live presentation for our home buyers. So ciao.